Howdy folks, and welcome back to War Thunder with the mighty Jingles. I've been slacking, I suppose is the right word. I haven't been playing my historical battles every day. In fact, I haven't been playing much of anything lately. Not multiplayer anyway. I've been getting into the secret world. A little bit of Guild Wars 2. Playing the occasional World of Tanks game on machines that I want to do reviews of. And not much War Thunder, and I don't know if it's... well, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm having a problem with War Thunder itself at the moment. I'm going through one of those phases where I don't really want to play War Thunder or World of Tanks. I want to play offline stuff. I've been playing through Bulletstorm again, which is an absolutely hilarious single-player game. I've been playing The Secret World, which is alright as MMOs go. But I've definitely been slacking off on my War Thunder historical battles. And the P-47D Thunderbolt, well, I feel as if there are certain aircraft that don't do as well in arcade battles as they should, purely because of the generous flight modelling that's given to everybody. Planes that have distinct advantages in real life, in one form of combat, don't really get a chance to shine in arcade battles because everything's just so average, if you like. In arcade, they've roughed all the edges off everything. And some aircraft that really wanted to have rough edges because the rough edges are where they play best, like the P-47, they excel. They really get their opportunity to shine in historical battles, and certainly full real battles, which, no, I've not done a full real battle yet. You can't even do a full real battle until you've done the hardcore takeoff and landing tutorial, and I suck. Trying to do full real battles with mouse and keyboard it's like trying to fly arcade battles with a joystick. Just because it can be done doesn't necessarily mean it's the smartest way to go about it. But I do like taking the jug out in historical battles, even with mouse control. Now, the big elephant in the room with War Thunder at the moment is it's the economic model. And what they've done in patch 1.29, as I'm sure most of you are aware, is they've drastically reduced the amount of credits that you earn, the amount of lions that you earn for playing games. They've also increased the amount that it costs to buy other aircraft, while throwing a metric butt-ton of XP at you, whether that be from achievements or new win streaks or whatever. Getting XP is probably easier than it has ever been. But doing anything with that XP is the problem. If you saw my last War Thunder video, the greatest game I ever lost, I got 16 air kills, and with a premium account, 6,000 credits. So dedicated lower tier credit farming just isn't really a valid tactic anymore, not in patch 1.29. And I've no doubt guys, watching what's going on, and they're monitoring the numbers, and they're reading the data, and there will be further tweaks. Don't for a second even imagine that what we're currently seeing is the finished game economic model. It isn't. It's a beta test. They're testing the economic model. Simple as that. But I wanted to see if anything had changed in historical battles, because historical battles was always, with greater risks come greater rewards. If you get your aircraft damaged in historical battles, it always cost more to repair and took longer to repair than in arcade battles, but the rewards were a lot better. So here I am in the Thunderbolt, having a go in the current historical battle, which is Americans versus Germans. Now, I'm loaded down with rockets and bombs, and I don't really want to go tangling up with a BF-109 until I've gotten rid of these bombs. So, tempting though it may be to dive on this guy and help out my teammates down there, there are two of them, there's only one of him. If they can't take a joke, they shouldn't be flying in the US Air Force, so I'm going to leave him to them. And I'm going to get rid of these bombs. Oh, hello. I'm not going for the easy ground kills, not with these bombs and rockets. I'm heading for the medium tank column, because one, worth more XP, and two, what's the point in dropping a bomb on an anti-aircraft gun when you can take it out with your 50 cal machine guns? But I might get a sneaky shot at this HE-111H on the way over. But, I'm going to be disciplined. If I get to take a pop at him, fine, but I'm not going to let him drag me off target. Got a hit. Oh, and that was me accidentally firing a pair of rockets when I didn't mean to. Now, you'll note that in historical battles, you don't get your dive bomb sights. So, I'm using the Mark 1 eyeball here. Decent rocket kill anyway. So there we go, double strike, 2 ground targets nailed. And now, where did that HE-111 go? No, I'm going to go after the Ju-88. Now you do definitely feel the performance difference in your aircraft in historical battles, because it's a much more realistic flight model, while still giving you some elements of instructor assistance. And the Jug does lumber around the sky. It's one of the heaviest fighters that ever took to the sky in World War II. Absolutely huge. Just this massive engine with a plane bolted on around it. But it does definitely perform better, and you can feel that difference when you've dropped all those big heavy bombs. Now you'll notice I still have a couple of rockets. Yeah. Now, I'm probably not going to get these guys before they drop their bombs, so I can at least make sure I nail them before they get back to base to rearm, reload, come back and do it again. Which one? Ju-88 is maneuvering. He's going to be easier to kill, and if I can get the rockets into him, I so am. Come on, come on, come on. Yep, that'll do. Now. Air rocket kills never stop being funny. Oh, mission objective failed. I've got to be honest with you. I don't actually know what the mission objective was in this thing. It's just, blow stuff up, shoot stuff down. That works. Now, you'll note that in historical battles, you do not get that target lead indicator that you do in arcade. And this is one of the reasons why I would not recommend anybody jumps right into historical battles before they've had a bit of a go in arcade and get used to how far you need to lead your target. And this is another one of the reasons why the Jug, and American planes in general, tend to be more useful for a new guy like me, somebody who isn't a pro flight sim pilot, because they have so much ammunition, so you can afford to hose it around a bit. Come on. Come on. Have it. Have some. Die, Fritz. Got it. And I dare say all you hardcore propeller heads are watching this and you're just covering your face with your hands and going, oh god, Jingles, what are you doing? I'm not a professional hardcore propeller head flight sim nut. Mentioned before that prior to War Thunder, the last flight sim I ever played was Rowan Software's Battle of Britain. It's sometime like back in 1995. I am an arcade noob. And that's one of the other things that I like about War Thunder. It's got those 3 different game modes. For the arcade junkies, or the Call of Duty kiddies, as I'm sure the more pro flight simmers love to call us. There's the arcade battles, and they're all sitting there playing the full real battles and looking down their noses at us. But you've got this little bit of middle ground here, historical battles, where both spectrums of the community can meet and play on a more level playing field. It's not a case of, they do give you that amount of choice, and the historical battles are there to ease you in from one end of the spectrum into the other. And it does kind of work both ways. When you can see me here, chasing after this Ju-88 who's far too high, and I don't have the speed or the power to climb up and reach him. And the virtual instructor is jumping in there and he's preventing me from stalling. You can still stall in historical battles, but you have to work real bloody hard at it. And if I tried to climb a little bit further and faster there, I probably would have stalled this thing out. But at the same time, you've got your hardcore propeller heads who jump into historical battles and they get annoyed with the virtual instructor taking over and preventing them from doing some of the most extreme manoeuvres. I mean, I've seen pilots intentionally going into a climb and cutting the throttle, and intentionally putting themselves into a stall to drop the nose and reverse the direction. And that's great. And you can do that in full real battles. But this virtual instructor in historical just keeps trying to correct what it perceives as pilot errors. And that can be really, really, really annoying. Am I going to get this? Yes! Got him! Win streak! and there you go. That generous American ammunition load coming to my rescue again, just spraying bullets around the sky, American style. Speaking of that generous ammunition load, right at this point, I should have gone back to rearm. There's no ammo counter. Some aircraft have ammo counters in the cockpits. If there's one in the P-47, I don't know where it is. And at this point, I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm flying something American. I've got thousands of rounds of ammunition. Yeah, but I've used thousands of rounds of ammunition. And I'm looking around for other targets. And having a look at the statistics page to see what they still have up. And they've still got a couple of bombers. Checking out for the ground targets, seeing if there's anything I can kill with my machine guns. There isn't. Pillboxes, medium tanks. But their airbase isn't far away, and their bombers have probably landed to rearm. So I'm going to go and help out this F4. And of course it was a mistake. I should have gone back to rearm. Because I only have, even though I don't know it yet, like a couple of hundred rounds of ammunition left for all of these guns. There we go, ME410. This guy did well. Best player on the enemy team. He got a few good kills in this thing. And I think all they have left is him and one HE-111 bomber pilot. So off we go, 7 kilometers away, no problem. The ME410 is not the most agile dogfighter in the world, although it's very, very heavily armed. As long as I can make sure this guy doesn't get the opportunity to point the nose of his plane at me, I could kill him. And there's the HE-111 on the runway, going for a takeoff, coming back to have another go. But our team's got this, no question about it. Unfortunately, my previous treatment of these guns like bullet hoses is about to bite me in the ass. I don't know it, but I'm almost out of ammo. And I could so have gotten this guy. And I'm empty. Bugger. So I have no alternative but to make a run for base. Rearm, reload, and hope I can come back in time to kill some more medium tanks and maybe get some more air kills. But it was not to be. Enemy team ended up running out of aircraft when I was still a good 4 kilometers away from my home airbase. I'm checking the scores there again, realising that they only have those 2 aircraft left, and I'm probably, this is it, this is game over for me. So we're just going to skip ahead to the end. And there you go. Fighter, surprisingly, and bulletproof, which is nice. And remember, I was talking about the economic model and whether or not historical battles were still worth doing. So there you can go. 2 ground kills, 3 air kills. It's the best I ever did. And holy cow, would you look at the amount of credits earned. 63,000 credits for 3 air kills and 2 medium tanks. That's pretty good by anybody's standards. So it seems that historical battles are the way to go if you want to earn money, at least under the current economic model, until they tweak things to make arcade more profitable. Now I did take a small amount of damage in that game, and this was one of the other problems, major problems that I had prior to 1.29, was the cost of repairs. And if you look, you'll see that there are 2 different repair times and repair costs, one for arcade, one for historical battles, and 600 credits, no problem. And I finally managed to earn enough XP on the P-47 to unlock air resistance. And with the engine and the air resistance installed, this thing might actually start performing the way it should in arcade battles too, which is nice. As always, watch your six, and I'll catch you next time.